to another edition of Neighborhood Training. We're going to continue to embark on the East Falmouth area, all these little peninsulas off of the south of 28. And this week we're going to work in the Antler Shores neighborhood. This area here off of East Falmouth Highway between Central Ave and Seacoast. Pretty nice neighborhood. Quite a few houses in there, and some good access to the waters. We've had a few calls out there. I know we've had a few rescues, but I remember one, fire in particular over the years in there. Not too hard to get lost in there, but the roads seem to be pretty well labeled when you do drive in Antler Shores or Muriel. So we do have an advantage there, and there are hydrants all around. But there is plenty of access way in and out. So this will be a really quick neighborhood training. It's a pretty small neighborhood. Okay, so here's a good outline here. We just come in off of 28 across from Oysters 2. No, actually, yeah. And come in. Oh, where'd that go? There we go. Alright, so we have the main drag in Antler Shores, which is pretty well labeled. That's probably going to be the best bet to heading into this neighborhood here. But we have to remember we have Muriel and Carolyn. Now, we've talked, one of the things that kind of helps you remember neighborhoods is the names of the roads. We may not be able to remember every one of these, but we can remember that there were a lot of Carolyn, Pamela, Muriel, so there's a lot of male and female names in there, so that may be helpful. We've certainly seen a few other neighborhoods that do the same thing. Recently we just talked about that over in the Fisherman's Cove area, right off of, and then coming in off of 28, Deborah Ann Lane, Penny Royal, all around in there. So we have Muriel and Carolyn and Pamela go across, and then Brian Lane off of Antler Shores. And we'll just go straight down here, and then we'll go over to the Blue Water Shores development over there. This is Antler Shores, and the other one is the Blue Water Shores. A pretty small neighborhood, but Antler Shores is the primary road that runs down. And as you can see, the lots aren't huge here, so most of the lots are probably quarter-acre lots. And this used to be quite seasonal neighborhood. It is becoming much more year-round, but if I had to guess, the closer we get to the water, it's probably a 50-50 mix. Alright, so we have Brian, Jonathan, Holly, and Debbie. Not Deborah Ann, but Debbie. And then Madeline. And we can just follow it down all the way around the end of the road here. Now, the type of houses that we have in there are a real mix. A lot of them are places that were built in the 60s and 70s, and a few that have been torn down and rebuilds. This here is a rebuild of a fire that we had I don't know how many years ago, probably 8 years ago anyway. But that's just a typical, ranch style that's quite common in this area. And What's been going on beyond that is, like a lot that's been going on in a lot of places around town, is that places like this are being built. And this house here is right on the corner, right here, 108 Madeline Road. And let's see, where are we here? 108. Yep, that is this is a 3,400 square foot home. That looks fairly recently built on this corner lot. Pretty large home, 3 stories. And we do have, so if we looked at that, as we mentioned before, it's length times width divided by 3 gives us our fire flow. This building here is being fully involved, is going to take 1,000 gallons a minute, probably a little bit more, probably 1,100 gallons a minute anyway. So if it's fully involved, and just to calculate that, right, if it's only 50% involved, we need half. 25 or 600, that's 2.5s to take care of like a 50% involvement, which sounds pretty reasonable. And do we have the hydrants to flow that? Well, we do. We have 1,100, 1,000, 1,100. So we do have the flow down that area to cover that size home. So just, you know, something to keep in mind. And I'm not sure really how we would describe that house, whether it be a contemporary or, you know, colonial. I don't know. I would probably say it was a contemporary. But they are wood frame dwellings, single family. I didn't see too many multi-families or accessory apartments in the whole area. So one other thing I will mention is down at the end here, there is a fairly good informal launching ramp. Not to say that we would use it, but now and then if we see and know of some of these ramps, like there is one down at the end of Tajmu, I believe, down here. There's one here as well. It's good to point out, not that we'd use them, but if we did have to do a small rescue, say with the Zodiac, or even with the Whaler, or if we were out in Marine One and we were going to be bringing someone in, you know, certainly be good to come up to a dock. But if not, we do know that we have, you know, this access point here, and this is what this looks like at the very end. I say it's pretty shallow ramp here, so it's pretty good access right at the end. When just to, you know, point out these little things within the neighborhood. So, and the Antler Shores runs all the way down. Then Madeline, right? And Muriel, you know, Brian, Holly, Jonathan, Debbie, and then we have this other small neighborhood over here, the Blue Water Shores neighborhood here, run in Sadie's Lane, right off of Route 28. And so we have Sadie's Lane, and it used to end up there, but they were able to connect it, make a few more lots, so now it just goes right through. Sadie's Lanes runs all the way through and to Ashwood and Meadowwood over here. Once again, as you can see, we have pretty good hydrant flows. If we look through there, we'll see that there's a few lots here, like this one here, that 921 East Falmouth Highway, that's kind of tucked in behind. So it's just good to notice that. And then we have Oysters 2 and Mahoney's across the street. This road here is kind of a paper road, accepted. I suppose for the future, if they wanted to develop these, they could, but currently they're not. And then in here we have the tree company and then kind of the mulch farm place over there. So, you know, that's kind of wraps up that area of Antler Shores. We'll take a quick look here. As we see right off the town website, the GIS, we can see pretty clearly we have hydrants everywhere throughout, so that's something we always want to be aware of. And we'll just do a quick review of the streets in the area for Antler Shores. Wood frame, single family dwelling. We talk about the wood frame, and we got to remember that we have combustible exterior, combustible interior, combustible roof, as opposed to buildings that are a steel frame or concrete. The actual exterior skeleton of it won't burn. In this case here, everything will. So it is our most hazardous occupancy. We always remember most firefighters are killed or injured in single family dwellings, and these are 1,000 to 4,000 square foot range, 60s to newer construction, full hydrant. The roads in there: Muriel, Pamela, Carolyn, Brian, Jonathan, Holly. Oops, that should be 2 L's. Debbie and Madeline, Sadie's, Ashwood. And from Station 5 it's 1.1 miles at 2 minutes. In Station 1 it's 5 miles, 8 minutes. And Station 4 is a mile further away at 10 minutes. So the reason we mention that is we look here, there's a 4-mile difference in response, but there's only a mile difference here. So between, to get to this area of town. So if Station 1's busy, with Station 4 is not pretty close, but not that much farther away. But the other difference is here, Station 5 can get there quick. Station 1 will be there in 8 minutes, so Station 5 personnel, you probably get about 6 or 7 minutes to operate on your own. So this is where it becomes important to set yourself up and get some of the basics going right off the bat correctly. Lay the line, get the make a good size up and give a good report of your actions and what you have, and then we can go and beyond that. So that's about it. That ends up this week's neighborhood training, and in the meantime, stay safe and eat healthy.